Our desires correspond precisely to God's plan. It's not that we want something, so we engage in wishful thinking that what we want exists. In a sense, it doesn't matter what we want, because it's not like we get a vote on reality. But I'll tell you this, if I had a vote, I'd vote for exactly what God promises in His word about the resurrection and the new earth. Wow. Wow. To serve Him and worship Him in community with the people of God and transform culture forever. It's not that we want something so we engage in wishful thinking that what we want exists. It's the opposite. The reason we want it is precisely because God has planned for it to exist. He's made me to want it. Once I see it for what it is, I can't help but want it. Resurrected people living in a resurrected universe isn't our idea, it's God's. And let me make this comment on figurative interpretation. An interpretive approach that makes everything symbolic also makes everything subjective. It will never allow us to break free of our assumptions and see what the Bible really says about heaven, our bodily resurrection, and life on the new earth. The river going through the New Jerusalem becomes God's grace. The tree becomes Christ. The city walls become security. The river becomes Christ. Or the tree becomes God's grace. Or the city walls speak of God's omnipotence. But if the text can be said to mean everything, it ceases to mean anything. One cannot have serious interpretive discussions with those who interpret all references to the new earth figuratively. Why? Because as soon as you cite a passage depicting anything tangible, they dismiss it by saying, well, you can't take that literally. And I've had these conversations with people. We need to take those portions which can be taken in a literal sense, and resurrection is emphatically literal. New earth is emphatically literal. Sitting down at tables with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob and eating food. I won't eat this food with you, or no, I won't drink this with you again until I drink of it with you in the kingdom. And he sits down, he prepares breakfast for them, we see in John 20, in his resurrected body, and he eats with them. And the food doesn't fall through to the ground because he's got a real, actual body. This isn't a matter of, oh, you're taking that too literal. There's no other way to take it accurately. And that's the nature of the resurrected life that's promised us and previewed in Christ.